Greetings and welcome to Rauta's take on British black metal. This time we go to Old Forest with Sutwyke. Now, when a lot of people think of British black metal, I guess they're either going for the old days, which means Cradle of Filth, Hecate, Enthroned, and the like. And if you're going for the new school of British black metal, you probably start thinking about bands like Rinderfyleth, Fenn, and the like. So yes, British black metal is active as ever, not exactly maybe in Norway or Sweden in terms of activity and all, but still, there are lots of bands that have been going for years and years and years, decades, so to say. And Old Forest was one of those bands that you might remember from the 90s. I surely don't, but that's my shame, because it came, let's be honest about it, very late in the 90s and vanished without a trace after one album from 1999. Took a few years and the band was gone. Back being a goner. And suddenly they had these EPs, they had more full albums coming out, and boom, suddenly a few years later, if you take a look at this list, it's very, very active band. 11, 14, 15, 19, 20, 21, 23. So a lot of activity coming from this band from UK, which never, I guess, got the attention they probably should have gotten. But that's how it sometimes goes. Some names are overshadowed by some other bands just because of live activity, tour and whatnot. But we are not here to recap the whole career. We are focusing on this 2023 album, Sutwyke, which was sent to me by one of the active Rauta Discord users. So thanks to him for sending this album out. So this album, 47 minutes, 8 tracks through Soulseller Records already more than a year ago. What can we expect? Now this is very, very curious case because technically speaking it's an interesting combination of various substyles of black metal. Surely the main thing is atmospheric black metal, but then again you can put anything from Burzum to Kalmankanda to a lot of other bands and say this is atmospheric black metal. So it's kind of like umbrella term, and you really want to kind of like define it a little bit more to figure out what it is. Now if I say there's a lot of melodies, it doesn't really help because a lot of atmospheric bands come with a lot of melodies. They just tend to be more on the melodic side of things rather than going for raw, primitive end of black metal, not to mention violent stuff and all that stuff. So kind of a given, this ain't no next Marduk, this ain't no next Dark Funeral and the like. This is not even touching the symphonic elements, but yes, it's more than just melodies and atmospheric parts and all that stuff. Now you're probably not surprised when I say they're clean vocals. There are parts where this sounds like actually In the Woods quite a lot. That is going beyond the typical borders of black metal. I'm assuming you know In the Woods at least so much that in this context you can understand that there is more In the Woods outside of black metal than inside of the given genre. That is, some elements might feel, yeah, it's a kind of a progressive metal or melodic metal with progressive elements kind of stumbling upon black metal ideas. So you have lots of different things going on. But then again, calling it Into Woods copycat or saying like it's all the way similar to that one is also a little bit misleading. But now comes the twist. If you look at the lineup here, let's go for the band lineup. It gives you a little bit more information. You check out the list, for example, Kobold, or also known as Grond. And he has history of In the Woods, and one cannot stop wondering, maybe that is exactly why this sounds a little bit In the Woods, because he used to be part of that band. Also the Meads of Asphodel. Yes, that also can give you a little bit of idea what this band is all about. Now there is a bunch of other bands which some might have something to do in terms of musical genre or whatnot with the band, but I'm saying at least these two bands have something in common, and I wouldn't call it just coincidence. Sometimes things go because you decide that's the way it should go. Sometimes things go more subconscious levels. I'm like, I used to play in that band. I'm not playing in that band anymore. And suddenly you have a melody riff or something like, hey, this could be working for my other band. And suddenly, boom, you sounding exactly like that. But like I said, Sutwyke is combination of different ideas. So some parts are definitely outside of your typical black metal territory. Sometimes it's bordering the lines, like I said, in the Woods ideas or the Meads of Asphodel and all that stuff. But then again, you also have more material. So kind of a lightweight black metal thing going, once again outside the borders of typical black metal. And that's what makes this an interesting hybrid. Certainly atmospheric, certainly a lot of beautiful moments, but also parts where you feel like, does this really belong here? I mean, if you're thinking from the pure blood black metal thing, true black metal, whatever. So might not be an album for those black metal heads who want to keep their black metal kind of a pure, like not going hybrid, not crossovers and all that stuff. But then again, calling Sutwyke crossover album in a neutral fashion, not a negative statement or overly positive for that matter, might actually give you a little bit of insight what this album is all about. So it goes to various places, and some make you tick more than that. With some parts I was like, yes, this is really good, and some parts I'm like, wouldn't have used this kind of idea here and there. But then again, I come from a different background, so that's just my opinion. But this is a kind of a goodie bag that gives you handing out so different kind of candies. You're a little bit, okay, that's licorice, that's fruit candy, that's a sour candy, and that's some weird ass candy, but candies nonetheless. So if you're one of those who like mixed bag of goodies, or candies for that matter, you probably are gonna like this. But if you want only one given style per album, think of, once again, Marduk and Dark Funeral for that matter, you might not be in for this, because this kind of requires you to have more open mind. One could even say this is kind of acquired taste of an album, but also could be the stepping stone into the world of bordering black metals. So crossover album in my opinion, and that for with all the positive words and buzz feeling with that. But like I said, not for those who go for pure blood vision only. So an interesting bag of goodies, not for everybody, but those who haven't the open mind or acquired taste, yeah, they're most likely gonna like it. Links are of course included in the description box, so you can start figuring out where to listen to this from and how to get the physical copy and all. So off you go. Let me know how you like Old Forest, or if this is the first time you even hear the band's name, and maybe we can go from that. Take care.